Okay, so it is recording. It says it's recording. Okay. Wish it gave me something to let me know. Okay, so this is the Start Writing Workshop. Um, Please make sure to go see my exhibit at the KC Daiquiri Shop. Visit JuneteenthKC.com for other events happening and other recordings of events. This is a 30-minute workshop, including a Q&A session. I have a few questions to go over. So let's go. Just a little bit of information about me. I'm a 3 times Essence Festival Bookstore author. I'm trying to look in the camera and not look at the screen too much. A KC People's Choice Awards finalist for Best Author, Miss Juneteenth KC, and the recipient of the Darren Wheeler Entertainment Media Architect Award for this year. The workbook is available today for $25. It's a special pricing for this weekend only, and it's available through Bliss Books and Wine. That's QR code will actually, if you do that with your phone, it will bring it up. Seriously, please get the workbook today. It has all the information that we're going to go over and a whole lot more. It's kind of everything that I've learned over the years with writing. The focus of the workshop, we're going to go over outlining, character profiles, some free tools for writers, and then a Q&A. So I just wanted to really quick point out something with writing. The right brain and left brain have two different functions. So sometimes I hear people say, oh, I start writing, but it's just a lot, or I'm trying to edit as I write, or proofread, or spell a word right. And you really can't do that very well together, because as you look at the brain, you have the right brain with creativity and imagination, and then you have logic and analytical thoughts on the left side. So that is kind of hard. But you can't shut off your left brain entirely to write, because it produces language. But if you can find a way to quiet that internal editor, it'll help you get in the zone with writing. I say that creativity is due to a balance of your left and right brain, because you do need your left brain to work, but your right brain has all the creativity that you need to really push out that story. So just a little information about that. So don't try to edit and write your rough drafts at the same time. You will have time to go back and edit and proofread everything. So just try to get your thoughts out. You can get the editing right, but your thoughts may not come back to you. So let's move on to outlining. Once you have completed an outline, you have a clearer picture of how you want your story to develop. This is an example of a very basic outline. I have several outlines in the Start Writing Kit, but this is a very basic one. So you have your beginning, your middle, and your end. I put those as Roman numerals. So I call it your meat and potatoes. And then in the middle of that will be your, I don't know, macaroni and cheese and green beans. But you want to make sure that your story has a beginning, middle, and end, and then you can kind of fill in what needs to go in between there. So we're going to have fun by doing this quick activity of outlining this movie. If you haven't seen Boys in the Hood, shame on you, and you should go watch it. But we're going to go over this. So again, here's my beginning, middle, and end. So we have the beginning is young adults surviving in the inner city of Los Angeles. Then the middle is the violence that took place, and then the results of that violence. So now we're going to add we have the meat and potatoes. We're going to add the sides. So in the beginning, go back and put, Ricky is an all-American athlete looking to win a football scholarship to USC. His brother, Doughboy, he succumbs to violence and crime around him. And then his best friend, Trey, who does have his father around. And then issues that happen with them in the middle. Trey is pulled over and harassed by cops, and that does have a significant impact on him. Ricky is shot and killed, which is horrific. And his brother is kind of just born in the wind at that point. The end of the movie, Doughboy actually seeks revenge for his little brother. He's eventually murdered himself, according to the movie at the end when they have the little titles. Trey actually struggles with wanting to ride with Doughboy to avenge Ricky's death, but his dad stops him. I'm sorry. And then the cycle continues because Ricky has a son and he's left to not have a father as well. So that gives you an outline. And I challenge you to do an activity of finding a movie that you know very well and doing a beginning, middle, and end to that movie and then adding those sequences in. It probably is quicker than if I told you to outline a book. But if you could do a movie to kind of, that's a good activity to kind of make sure you understand how to go from the beginning, middle, and end. So let's pop into character profiles. This is a blank character profile sheet. I love it because you're able to develop your character. I have several profile sheets inside of the kit as well, but I do like this one because it gives a lot of information. You can do these on main characters and supporting characters. On the supporting characters, you may not need to fill in as much information, but the more information you have, the more you'll have on your story, especially if you decide to do part 2. Or I've had a book that I wrote where there was a character in that book that was in another book, so we actually explored that character a little more, so it helped to have a character profile so that we know we were within the realm of the other book. So we're going to do a character profile of Ricky. So that's his full name was Ricky Baker. We know he was in high school, a junior or a senior, because he was already planning to go to college. We only seen his mother, and we knew he had a son and a brother, Doughboy. His best friend is Trey. We knew his hobbies and his interests were at least football. We knew he was an African American, the Crenshaw section of South Central Los Angeles. I picked chocolate with dark brown eyes. Of course, you can use whatever description you want. And for his personality, I put he was an athlete and a bit of a hothead. I also did a character profile on Trey. So same thing. He was a high school senior, maybe a junior. We know he was divorced. His mother was at the beginning of the movie dropping him off to his dad. And that his mom lived in Inglewood. We know that he liked the Georgetown Hoyas because he wore a lot of shirts to talk about Georgetown Hoya basketball team. And he's easygoing, straight laced. He's somewhat of a good guy. So I want you to note that what you come up with when you're developing your characters will not all be in the book. Don't force that either. But it's good to know and develop your characters so you can explore it to make sure that you're giving them very well-rounded personalities. So again, all of this is in the workbook that is $25 this weekend and will be on Amazon for $40 because it's a lot of information. It's stuff that I've learned again all throughout writing. So I've collected a lot of good pieces of information, good templates in the book to help you. I want to talk a little bit about traditional publishing versus self-publishing and what the differences are. And you can just take a look at this. It's just a comparison of traditional publishing and self-publishing. I wouldn't say one is better than the other. It just depends on what your goals are for your book. So nobody can really tell you which one of these is the best because that is a personal choice and both are successful. So I do want to talk about why I chose to be self-published. So I was offered a contract. They offered me $5,000 advance. on trade paperback books, just kind of looking at this. So each book would be, it will retail for about $14.99. However, the list price will be about $8.99. And the difference between the list price and the retail price is that what the distributor is going to sell it for. So we sell it to the publisher, will sell it to the distributor for, or whoever the store is. So example, Walmart. So Walmart will buy the book from them for $8.99. My daughter is loud. She'll buy, so they'll buy the book for $8.99. But in order for them to make a profit, they put it at $14.99. But they also have the option to sell it for $10.99 or $11.99. So when you see something on sale, it's still within that realm. So the list price was $8.99, and I got 30% royalty, which put me at about $2.70 per book sold. So in order for me to make any additional money beyond this $5,000, I had to sell 1,852 books, because that would equal up to $5,000 of the $2.07. Hope that makes sense. So being self-published, I didn't get anything in advance. I retailed my book at $10. And I sold it on Amazon with a 70% royalty. And I sold it also on my website with 100% royalty. So let's look at this. $7 per book sold on Amazon. So I only needed to sell 715 books to make that same $5,000. And on my website, I only needed to sell 500 books to make that $5,000. So if I actually had sold 1,852 books on Amazon, I would get almost $13,000, I'm sorry. And on my website, 18.5. So 18.5K. So, you know, it depends on how much hustling you want to do, how much you think you can sell, on which ones you want to get. If you want to do self-publish or traditional publishing, some people like to do traditional publishing also just for the accolades. Of course, I didn't care about that. I just wanted my book out. So I do want to talk about some upfront costs with self-publishing, because there are some upfront costs that you would not have to pay with a traditional publisher. The book, to get it printed, manufactured, and shipped, was about $2.15 per book. I also had to pay $150 roughly a year to maintain my website and selling fees. PayPal takes a percentage, Square takes a percentage, whoever you decide to use for your means of collecting money. And then I also spend about $200 a year on marketing material, just, you know, flyers and getting things made. I liked it. I learned how to make my own flyers, so that kind of saved me some money. You kind of learn how to do other things. You learn other skills in the process. So why would anybody want to self-publish? This was a really good picture of why I wanted to self-publish. The traditional publishing, they want to do a little bit more, and they actually have some of the rights to your book, and they definitely are going to say what they want the story to be about or remain. They may change some things in there. Your marketing is usually, you have to still do marketing as traditional publishers, and I think that's one of the things that's really a rude awakening that I've seen, is that people get signed as to these traditional publishers, and then they just kind of think they're going to sit back and wait for the money to roll in, and it doesn't work like that. You still have to get out and tell people about your book. You still have to get out and do things. They're not going to just be able to market you right away. So if you take a look over that. And I want to close out with giving you some resources. Again, a lot more information in the Start Writing Kit, but here are some free tools for you. For editing, I like Grammarly. It's better than a word spell check. If they see you using words repeatedly, they'll may give you some additional choices for words. They talk about phrasing and rewording. They also catch things like the different theirs or on, because if you spell on OWN, but you meant ON, a word check is not going to catch that because it is a word. So Grammarly has a little bit more, it's a little more in depth. It is a free tool. They have a paid version that's a little more in depth, but the free version is great. The next one is about publishing. If you do decide to self-publish, KDP, or Kindle Direct Publishing, is a print-on-demand service. So you can print one book at a time, or you can print 500 books at a time. It's a great option so that you don't have to have a huge amount of inventory just sitting around waiting for someone to buy it. If someone wants a book, you can order it and have it sent directly to them. It's a great service, and I really feel like this is the reason that self-publishing is able to thrive now in the last, I don't know, 6-7 years because of Kindle Direct Publishing. It's an Amazon company, so they automatically, when you do everything, get it set up for you to sell at all the outlets. It'll come up, at Walmart, at Barnes and Nobles online. This one action will get it on everything. So it's really great. This has been a lifesaver. OneNote is where I keep everything. And the reason it's important, as you can see, Word is on here for OneNote. It's basically Word in the cloud. That is important if you switch computers so that you can, sometimes I might write on my phone, and then I might go to my computer, my laptop, and then I might get on a desktop. Also, it's a safeguard if your computer crashes and you lose things. It's in the cloud, so you don't have to worry about losing your work. And that's the most devastating thing to happen, is you lose your work. So they have a free version. It's pretty good. I still use the free version. I don't pay for it, but it's a good place to save your work and be able to get back to it from anywhere in the world. The Dope Grammar Guide is a book by Sasha Reve that I really, really like. I feel like she put it together really straightforward, and I just really like it. It has basic grammar rules in there. I have been in school for a long time, and I still didn't know everything that she taught. So it's a great book to have. As you can see, the Dope Grammar Guide is only $12.50. I just wanted to share, because I get a lot of people who ask, well, who did you use for editing, or who should I use for proofreading? These are current prices for Black Eden publication. Of course, my phone is ringing. I'm at my parents' house, and I think they're the only one in the world that still has a phone. But as you can see, they have proofreading, copy editing, and content editing. And they actually can do the formatting for you to change your books to ebooks and paperback format for the Kindle process. But that's an easy process, and there's that Kindle website, that KDP Publishing will definitely show you how to do that on your own. But I just want to tell you who I use for editing. And I also, let me go back, I like them because they know how to edit for urban sections. So some of our grammar is going to be incorrect on purpose, and they are able to spot that. And they have industry standards on how to say things wrong. So they kind of help with that. So I'll suggest them. Daisen is an awesome free place as well. It has your toolkits for making flyers and making business cards and making 3D book covers. They have everything, and you will definitely use them over and over again. So I wanted to put them out there as well. And of course, the workbook is again available this weekend for $25. So I hope that you get it today. This is the link, or you can just use your QR code and get the book. You can also reach me at LeAndrea.Mack on Facebook, LeAndreaKC on IG, and Miss LeAndrea, MISS LeAndrea on Twitter. And I can get you the link for this as well. So I hope you guys got a really quick, swift introduction. I hope you do the activity with finding a movie and rewriting it with the beginning, middle, and end. And if you have any questions, because our time is actually up, if you have any questions, feel free to inbox me. I am going to probably refer you to the Start Writing Kit first. But after you've gone through the Start Writing Kit, if you have additional questions, please feel free to contact me. And the reason I say after you've gone through the Start Writing Kit is because a lot of the information, I've had the same questions asked over and over for like the last 5 years. So I kind of know what the questions are going to be. So I've done my work of putting it all in one book. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you celebrate Juneteenth. And I'll see you next time.